Mm-mm.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Big Brother. What are we calling this, Drew? Big Brother Canada chat catch up.
Working title.
Working title. We decided that we wanted to do something for you all today because obviously it is Big Brother Canada season. There's a lot of stuff to discuss, and I am going to be here with some of my favorite people talking the most. And with the most tea. Does everybody have what they have to drink? Is anybody drinking right now?
I literally got
a
tea.
little beer, Great Lake Brewery.
Look at you. I'm about
Big Jam, I got
I'm
you
about
beer,
to pour
sweet.
me.
No, I got you.
Whoa, Jamar got
Appleton.
himself. Okay, I didn't know Mondays were for Appletons, but okay.
The type of show we having today.
So y'all know that what we're about to talk about is going to be good because he got his Jamar got his Appleton. Today we have Cindy with an S from Big Brother Canada 3 and 5, Big Brother Drew from Big Brother 6, and Mr. King Jammers Jamar from BB8. I am kind of, I guess, your host. I will be kind of hosting. Drew is. I think we're just gonna have a good old natural chat. I'm not a great host. I think I'm gonna take Drew's. I'm just gonna look at Drew every time he wants to ask a question. I'm gonna be like, go ahead, just ask it. But I'm Jessica Milagros from Big Brother US 21. I was a 21 version. You know, these are version 3, 5, 6, and 8, and I'm version 21. It's like, this is sad.
Canada's got to catch up. We're gonna catch you guys.
Yeah, we're slowly getting there.
But you guys are
cut seasons in half and then just do twice in 1 year. We'll catch up.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But, you know, I will say you guys are, I enjoy watching you all a little bit more. And I will probably talk about that in a sec. But for those people who are in the chat, we're going to kind of go through, because I think the last time we did this, we were doing the cast reveals and our first impressions with Maddie and Hira. And now it's been three episodes in. We have a whole week of live feeds. Someone got evicted. There was a new HOH. So there's a lot to cover. But I think why I'm so excited about this is mostly because we had impressions, like first impressions coming in. Cast is already, all the house guests are in. I'm going to go in with the nitty gritty. Who's the most disappointing? No, okay. Canadians are nice. I won't ask that. It's not the most disappointing. No, but Drew, how do you Canada nice this? Say something. You're really good with those.
Listen, I want to jump and say this. You know, I feel, Jamar, you could chime in here as well. Some people like to compare house guests to past house guests. I saw you on Twitter, Jamar, as well, saying that they had a bit of a archetype. Do you see any similarities, to any house guests that might resemble the Jamar archetype? I'm not saying that they are Jamar. Everyone is their own individual. But do you see any comparisons there, Jamar, since you were the last season?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't see my archetype, but I see others. Yes.
Oh, okay. You see others? Wait, Jamar, that's a very nice answer. Like,
really?
you usually I think you usually elaborate a little bit more.
Oh yeah, I can elaborate. Brayden reminds me of Gary for sure. Who else? When I first seen Latoya, I was like Dre. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
yeah, a lot of archetypes there. You know what I'm saying? Who else? I don't even know. I mean, you got two licensed brothers in the house. I don't think they're my archetypes. People were messaging me saying those are me. I'm like, nah, I'm different.
Yeah, I definitely don't see the there's a bit of swagger that they're kind of missing. No offense to them. They just
They're just
don't
different.
have. They're just different. Yeah, they're
They
very,
come from
very
areas,
different.
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's very different when you say archetype, because there's a difference between comparing people because they look similar to a past house guest, and then there's also the energy and the personality and like Jamar said, like swagger, right? Because you know, every year whenever there's an Asian on the show, you know, like when I was on it, they would compare me to a previous Asian in the US, or they'll find something like when Kira was on, people compared her to me. When Julie was on, when Min Lee, like everyone would just be like, oh yeah, that's gonna be the next Cindy, or that person's gonna try to be like Cindy because they're Asian. And then even right now when people are saying like, oh, like Brendan is with Gary, or like I said, LaToya and Dre, it's like we haven't seen their personality that much to kind of compare it other than what they look like, right? Because they do have the same height. Like Brendan is just as tall as Gary, right? And they're both very outgoing. But like for me, it's interesting because there are certain personalities that you can tell that's like very similar to past house guests, because you can be like, you just want to assume because they look the same, but you can see that there's some personalities that are just as quiet that you're just like, oh, that reminds me of so-and-so. But it's hard to kind of separate the two from being like, hey, they look like the person and they are personality-wise like that person.
Yeah. No, LaToya is nothing like Dre. My bad. I just want to say LaToya is nothing like Dre. I was saying that first look, first glance, was just like, you know, bald-headed, dark-skinned woman. It's like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, LaToya is a savage. LaToya is a savage. And, you know.
I just wanted to say, Cindy with an S said that she got Godfrey vibes after watching my first initial video. And I'm still mad about that, Cindy with an S. Yes, I have nothing to do with that, brother Godfrey. For you to even say that I look like, or have you got, and I will salute Dre, because Dre did the video with you, and Dre was quick to say, "What are you talking about?" So you can go back and watch your own video, Cindy with an S. I am nothing like Godfrey. Also,
I just meant like your personality in
your
video, in your bio video was very like welcoming, because even Godfrey's video was very welcoming.
I think your mic, though, Drew, your mic.
I will take that. Yeah, have a drink. Also,
Drew, your mic is a little loud.
Sorry, I'll chill out.
No, your mic is a little. Your mic is a little loud.
Sorry, I'll try to not yell at people, guys. Peter Brown this week also had a very toxic tweet, which he actually ended up texting me about, comparing Braden and Gary. I thought that was actually quite wild. I didn't say racist. I didn't say homophobic. I said it was wild. And we all had a very good conversation. Learn people's names, guys. Everyone's their own individual. You know,
he did. It was really nasty what he said.
What do you say? What do you say?
I mean, a discount. You know, just a discount version. You know, like I don't think we're there yet. You know, like or ever.
I said, white people gotta watch them off on Twitter, man. Come on now. We saying
someone said, Drew, stop yelling.
Sorry.
You can definitely see some of the house guests as a new season emerges. You know, everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon and the excitement, because, you know, most people's Instagram, Twitter is very monotonous. What is the word? Like very monotonous. Yeah. Throughout the year until this is their time to shine, which is the Big Brother season. And I feel like there are certain house guests that feels that being able to rip people to shreds, or try to think that, oh, I'm going to say something very controversial, and so that people will just like my tweet and all that stuff. But the thing is, 90% of the time, like, people don't agree with you anyways, but that's what they want. They want to cause some riffles and make their statements and make their comments, but like, we're beyond that. Like, they shouldn't really think that they should bash someone. And especially since we've all been there, like, I know every single one of us have reread what previous house guests have said about us, and it like sucks to see that that's what they said. And then you see them all like suck up to each one of us post seasons and like all that stuff. But it's interesting to see that, because
we're all stars here. That's what they say here. So we're all stars. No, I totally agree with you, Cindy. So let's go ahead and start talking about this whole, like, they're coming in, house guests are getting adjusted to living with each other. How do you feel the living situation is there right now?
It's a tough one, guys. I'm sure a lot of people aren't used to having 14 other, people living in the same house. Of course, it's probably a little nasty, a little funky. But I did see rip bread from the middle of the bread by ripping the plastic in the middle. I don't know what savage type of hit
that is that worthy of your eviction? Is that it? Would you have like nominated her, Drew?
No, it's definitely a conversation next to the bread and saying, what were you thinking when you could just rip open bread in the middle? But there's definitely a lot of. I saw people playing games with cookies this week as well. That's a waste of a cookie. No.
Did they not eat it? No?
I'm not sure what they did with it after, but definitely there is a bit of growing pains. Jamar, did you have any growing pains living with that many people your last year?
Yeah, I definitely did. People, they get too comfortable too quick with me. You feel me? And they had a problem with me taking a shit on the first night.
Wait, like a literal one?
Yeah.
Like going to the bathroom. They had a problem with you going to the bathroom.
I was the first person to break the ice in the crib, and they were all vexed.
Just go to the bathroom. Why would they have an issue with that? Like, that's so absurd.
Listen, guys.
I thought I was going home. I thought I was going home first week after that. The way they were like going on and carrying on, I was like, damn, bro. I just broke the ice.
I definitely think that, like, for us, when we went onto our seasons, that was definitely like a huge game changer of like, oh my God, so many people and getting comfortable. But I think for this season, it's definitely a vacation to be able to hug people and not wear a mask and not have to social distance. And
absolutely.
Kind of like, it's interesting because before when we were in there, we were like, oh, I can't wait to go back to normal and go to the outside world. But for them, they get to be normal in that world. So that's so interesting to see it because for them, they're probably not being like, oh, I hate living with 14 people. They were probably been alone this entire time and was like, oh my God, 14 people. Let's dance, let's touch, let's kiss, let's cuddle, which we've been seeing a little bit over there.
Yeah.
So I think this year would be the first year that people are not going to be complaining about the people, the messiness, not having to wash your hand every 5 seconds. I think they're just excited to just touch and lick everything that they possibly can. And,
and lick,
touch
us. And lick. Yeah, I mean, for those of y'all, I don't know in the chats, for those that are in the chats, I don't know how much people are watching live feeds. Obviously, look, this is not my first time watching. This is like, I don't know. This is like this is about like my 5th season watching BBCAN, but it's like, I was doing like
you're doing great.
Back work. I was doing back work. My girl, I watched your 3rd season because my girl Brittany's on it. And that was actually what got me introduced to Big Brother Canada because I didn't know Canada had a Big Brother. I knew her before she even got on the show. So that's how I met her. But once I got out of the house, I watched 5 and then 6, then 7, and then it just kind of went. So what is always so surprising for me is your first 3 episodes are always like the edited ones. Just there is never enough information. Anybody who is watching from like the US and cannot get live feeds would totally be lost and would be like, what the F? Like, what is going on? Why did this happen?
I don't know why they do that because for the US, like, you guys don't have your premiere and then an eviction following afterwards. You guys have your premiere and then your HOH and then your POV and then you have an eviction. So at least we give that first evicted house guest some airtime. We gave them at least 3 episodes. And for Big Brother Canada, they tend to move into the house about 5 to 7 days prior to the premiere date. So we have all this footage beforehand for the premiere, but we've also done everything already so that like they just rush into the next episode with no information. Because like, the blowout with Julia against Josh, like that was a lot bigger than what was shown in the edited episode. There was a lot more languages that was being used and people were able to express that and said like, oh, there was a difference out of Julie that we weren't able to see. And I wish they aired more of that because, you know, the whole edit seems like Josh was leaving, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's a landslide that Julie is leaving and everything. But they do this every year, and I don't understand why they can't just, like, I know we only have 10 weeks, but get rid of a triple eviction, get rid of a buyback, get rid of one of the double evictions, and then give that one house guest at least that extra week, because every year no one really remembers the first evicted house guest because we only saw them for 1.5 episodes.
Yeah. So what do you all think right now of the way that it's set up? This is the first time they work in teams. As you can see, you know, Julie left. It's Team Destiny versus Team Defender. And now, like, Julie left. She was on Team Defender. Team Destiny seems to be kind of running the show. You see, and another thing that, like, for this episode, I feel like they don't really talk game. I'm not seeing anybody talk game. Like, so it's very confusing for a person who's just watching edits to be like, what the hell is going on? This is like, this is Austin's HO. She's the first HOH of the season. And she has not talked to one single person. Or they have not showed in these episodes her talking to one single person and trying to, like, really hone in on her HOH. When you're HOH, you're, like, literally looking to make moves. And I was very surprised. How do
was she gonna make any moves? Was she going to make any moves, or was she always?
Look, every day, all day, I'm looking for a first episode to be like Cindy and Karen's episode from season 5. I want 2 big old dudes on the block, and I need you to take one out, and I need there to be game. Like, don't waste your first HOH.
Let's be honest here, guys. You want to see
it's International Women's Day, so be very careful with what you say, Drew. It is International
Women's Day, of course, but women do love a good eye candy. And from what I've been seeing on Twitter, there's a lot of Tyshawn clips, a lot of Edson no shirts on. So I think the women are going to be like, hey, let those guys stick around a little longer. But with that being said, I think there are people talking game. I think Austin probably didn't want people to go out seeking information. People should be coming to her with information, right? And from the information that she has received, she knows that obviously Josh is someone that she could put on the block week after week. And I guess the hard one was Kiefer. And Kiefer obviously showed a bit of, like, he knew what was up, because obviously, you know when you're not in favor with somebody. But we'll see what. Well, I guess we have seen, or we know what happens. I don't know how far you want to go down the pipeline there.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
absolutely. Want to give big shout out to Maddie. Says, hello, beautiful people. Girl, I gave her the link. So if Maddie, if you are not too tired and you just want to hop in really quick to talk about just to talk a bit, you're more than welcome to. You got the link, so let us know. And then I just want to thank Miss History. Miss History is she is I don't even know how to describe Miss History. She's an amazing supporter of the Big Brother. Super supporter of the Big Brother community. Girl, let's agree to disagree. Everybody who, like, all of Big Brother house, not all Big Brother house guests, but the good ones. She's a big supporter of the good ones. And she is just saying happy Women's History Month and International Women's Day. Yeah.
Challenge.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, obviously we all wish to see more game talk happening with Austin. And I think obviously, like, there was talks and conversations. Everybody talks to the HOH. But I think from a production's perspective, it's like nothing is happening. Like, there's no, like, oh, we're stuck between these 4 nominations. It was just like everyone knew who was going to go up. Yeah. They've already decided. So all the conversations just a repeat of themselves of saying, put up Josh and Kiefer, put up Josh and Kiefer, put up Josh. So for them, they're just like, what's the point of, like, and they used to spend so much time having the HOH talk about 4 people that they're going to put up and, like, go through all the talk, the nonsense of, like, oh, I thought about this person, but then I'm going to drag this person's name over. And then I want to do this person. And
do they not do that anymore?
they cut it out really quickly because you just knew it was just a waste of time to just air this fake conversation that they have. Because 90% of the time, the HOH already knows who they want to put up, the two people that they want to know, unless they're in a huge dilemma and there's really two people going at each other. There's no point of airing that because that's boring TV. And like, it's interesting because before I was on Big Brother, I watched it from a casual perspective, and like, I hated the game talk. I wanted to see the fluff. I wanted to see the competitions and all this stuff. And then after being on the show, I hate all this fluff. I'm like, I want to see the game. I want to see the logic. I want to see how people do this. And now they just do so much. It's like, what was it? Like, who was it? Best Dancing? Like,
yeah, white people dancing was crazy.
Like, that was great. Like, oh, like that was 3 minutes of my life that I wasn't going to get back. I would rather see something else. But okay, cool. Put it in there for the casual fans.
How much, I have a question, Jamar. How much better is or worse is the house now or during your season? Because, you know, now it's just like your season with mold on it. So what is it? How do you feel about it?
Oh, it's worse for sure. It's worse and very triggering.
Is it? Are you having some hard times like watching?
Not really. I mean, I've been over it, but it's just like seeing the teaser and seeing the premiere. It was just like, wow, these motherfuckers really use the same house, and then bring back one of us. Well, I mean, I wasn't expecting a call because, you know, Rock King, but I want to see my friends go at it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm close to these guys, so I wanted to see Maddie, Kira, all of them do it again. I was really excited. I'm like, yo, I was telling them, like, yo, I'm rooting for you guys heavy. Like, I wanted to see them play. And it's sad when my friends are sad. I'm sad, so. It is hard.
Listen, if what's his face from the first Evictee got onto an all-star season in the US, then I'm sure one of you guys are going to be able to go on the all-star season, even though you had a short-lived season.
Yeah.
More than one, possibly, right? And I feel like whenever they do this, like for Canadians, it's a little tougher to do something like all-stars because everyone is well-known or they talk to each other and they communicate with each other. So they're definitely going to be keeping an eye out to see who's close to certain people and relationships in order to be able to separate the dynamics.
I just feel like this season, like it would have been perfect for it. You know what I'm saying? You got Team Defender. Let us defend our house. You feel me? And it's like,
oh yeah, for sure.
There's an excuse to bring back half our season. You know, there's an excuse to bring back half our season because also you're not going to bring back.
And you guys would work as a team. You guys would for sure work as a team to try to get the other side up.
Yeah, and for all stars, you're not gonna bring back. You're probably gonna bring back what, 2 of us? Like, what about the next 10 that didn't get a chance? You know what I'm saying? There's 14, there's 13. I don't even know how much shit is already hitting me, but 12 or 13 of them that didn't get a second chance. So it's like this was the season to do it. And the next season, it makes no sense. You're only gonna bring back 2, then the rest are gonna be salty. And this is honestly, it's unfair in my opinion. But whatever, who am I? I'm expelled. Right?
Big Brother is definitely not fair. So I guess that's one thing, you know, that we gotta expect, especially with television too. You know, expect the unexpected. So you know,
I mean, I would have to agree. I would have to agree with Jamar. Like, I mean, that would have made more sense to be like, why would it be Team Defenders and what are they defending? Like, it would have made more sense for BB8.
Also, the goal of having at least 50% diversity on there, I don't think they would really. With your season?
Yeah,
they would have had to. It would have to have been like Sheldon and Ming Lee and
Hira.
And Hira, yeah.
You know, I mean, who else? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But either way, you have a full 8
people. 4 people. Like,
well, I'm not gonna say myself because I was.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know,
whatever you were expelled, whatever they can bring that back, whatever they can rectify whatever they were doing.
All right. Then say me. That's 4 people right there.
Yeah, that's 4 people right there.
Then you have an 8 new cast, and it's like, why not do 8 people of color? You know what I'm saying? Straight. So, Rob King, you already know. You're.
I'm just saying, out of the people that you've listed, I wouldn't have agreed that those 4 would have been the right choice to come back. You know, there were certain people that definitely made an impression within the short time that they were there that I think deserved another chance to go back. And there are some people that did not make an impression during that short time that
Let's elaborate.
No, I'm good. I can't even remember certain names, so I'm just saying, those are the people that I wouldn't like see them on,
So you. What do you mean? Sheldon was great. Sheldon was great. Come on.
Everyone has their favorites, guys. You know how the game goes, right? So there's.
Is there something that I missed? Is there something that I missed? Was there something that happened?
There's nothing that happened with me and anybody in your season. I watch it briefly, and those that stood out, even when I don't watch the shows on Twitter and everything that stood out, those ones that stay standing out. And there's certain people that did not stand out as well as they wish they could, and those are the people that are not going to be asked back.
Yeah.
Fair.
So like
that's fair. That's fair.
There's two factors. You're going to be entertaining, or you were a very strategic player that needs to prove something. And there's Sheldon in those ladders.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. You said there's people that make an impression and people that don't. So let's talk about the people who are making an impression this season. Who are the ones who are standing out as like the ones that are either
Latoya.
Right?
I mean,
Is that the other one?
Did too. I thought Julie was quite. I feel like if she stayed, she would have been like nice to watch and very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she would have been lit to watch. To be honest, Josh too. I mean, like underdog. So the underdog story is there for him. And who else? Latoya. Cindy said Latoya. And I'm rooting for the brothers, but I gotta see more from them. You know what I'm saying? It's only been 3 episodes. I'm rooting for them, but I gotta see more from them. Instead of just little scenes here and there.
Hey,
Maddie.
We got Miss Maddie. Thanks, Maddie, for the last minute.
How are you guys?
What happened to your neck?
Oh my god, getting old sucks. Getting old sucks.
Oh, I think we have a little bit of a...
You're playing the YouTube as a background, right? Yeah.
Oh, I think you're on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube?
Yeah, you have a YouTube. It's playing in the background. You gotta get out of the tab.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm just saying getting old freaking sucks. I've been like in the boxing thing. 31.
Oh, okay, we're the same age.
I competed like my whole life playing tennis, like whatever, and now I'm doing like the boxing thing, and I'm just like, I'm in my Wednesdays, but I'm just like so sore and out of shape.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that that match, that boxing thing a little later, because I know that's like a hot topic. There's a lot of people probably on the chat that want to know more about about that boxing match. From what I know that Jamar's going to be in the corner rooting for Michael, if I wasn't mistaken, right?
Maddie too.
You're going to be on Maddie's corner too?
We'll see.
Are you gonna be the one with like the Vaseline, like ready for to make sure to put the Vaseline on?
He's gonna be the one checking my Jill, because that's what they do. I'm kidding.
A house that hasn't made an impression, and I wish can make an impression, even though he had such a preseason emphasis, with Kyle. I forgot that he was there.
Oh yeah, he's kind of like sleeping in the background, huh?
I literally forgot that he was on the show. I was just
that's not a bad thing, though, guys.
in a game perspective, for sure.
Game perspective, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yes. Like that's what you want. You don't want to be spoken to or anything. But like he has even been called into the DR once.
Kyle. Who?
I haven't seen now.
Yeah, that's nice.
Who?
He did.
It's like usually like they're quiet, but they usually at least they'll bring them into the DR to say 1 or 2 fluff lines of being like, "Oh, so and so is cute," or like, "I'm so glad I'm not on the block." But or did I just miss it? Or are they all just blending in together? And I'm just
you probably missed it, right? Some people just listen. You check for who you like. And you'll know when Latoya's not on, or you'll know when the people you like are on. Like that's how it goes.
Yeah, as you can see, like, I think that there are people who are, look, I'm insanely impressed with Latoya. For someone whose team has been on the block 2 weeks in a row. She has been owning and literally working these first 2 weeks. Like, she's been the puppet master. She's been the one who's been at the forefront of, like, you know, flipping these these decisions. My question is, and Drew's probably not going to like this, but is she playing too hard?
No.
Nobody thinks they're playing too hard.
No, I don't think she is. And I think it is also a matter of, no matter what, she was going to go in and people would always going to target her no matter what. And I think she's playing it as well as she can for who she is. And I think that if she was quiet or anything like that, people would still target her and be like, that's not her personality. She's too quiet. Like, she's not representing it well. And So I think for her, like, I think she's playing it perfectly, in my opinion.
So I want to know, I know that there's the people, are you all caught up on feeds, or you guys do know, like, spoilers? Are you all into spoilers?
Yeah.
No, I don't watch spoilers.
You don't watch spoilers, Jams?
I mean, I see on Twitter, but I don't watch live feed. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Because I don't want to be the person who's gonna spoil. Obviously, this last episode, we only got into Austin and her HOH, which, by the way, let me say, like, the women, and I'm not just saying this because it's International Women's Day, the women are kicking ass.
Yeah.
Like, they are the last ones. Like, do Canadians throw... Do y'all throw comps?
Yes, 1,000%.
Yeah, for sure.
In these situations, do you think that any of these people are throwing competitions at this point?
I don't think anyone has. I don't think so. That was a hard competition, the last one.
I think some of them have. Like, I don't know. It's if you're a strong, big guy, they tend to always throw the beginning competitions they try not to be the first person to drop whatever. And then once they're kind of in the middle of the pack, they let go. Or if they see, because what was it? Like, the one where they were holding the bucket, it was like boom, 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 boom. That's your opportunity to be like, oh, so-and-so drop, I'm going to drop too. So it doesn't look like it's my fault. Like, I didn't do it on purpose. It's just like how it is. But I don't know. Like, I've seen people talk and plan when to throw it. Like, you go first and then I'll go a little bit later and then we'll reconvene. But I think, like, there's definitely, I feel like I would hope that the teams are making them work harder to keep it. But I think people are still throwing it, for sure.
You guys are in teams. If you guys are in teams, and like how 9 is right now, what is your game plan? Would you guys be throwing competitions?
I think you definitely don't want to go comps. I think you want to, especially right at the beginning of the game. That's an easy way to kind of find yourself out of touch and kind of in a tough spot. I'm sure if you ask Kiefer, he'd say, "Hey, I tried my best to win that one," because he probably knew that he was going to be at risk or targeted at some point. So we'll see what happens. But I definitely think that you definitely got to win these comps, especially early on, especially with teams. We saw, how things kind of unraveled for Julie in terms of, her thinking that she was, safe, and then things kind of went really, really quickly. And also, I wanted to shout out Anthony. Anthony went and saw Julie after she was evicted this week, and that's something that I think is, definitely underappreciated in the Big Brother community, showing support from people who are evicted. Ramsey came and saw me when I was evicted. I saw a bunch of people, over the years as well. But salute to Anthony keeping that tradition alive, kind of setting support and, checking in with the house kids after they're evicted. But yeah,
that's really important.
It is, but it isn't. Sometimes people are, you never know what to expect with people in the community, right? So, but for people to, kind of check in or say, I put up on Jams will tell you, you know what I mean? And even, I pop in with people when you can, but you try to make sure you get support. Definitely being evicted is not the most fun.
Expelled isn't, definitely.
Yeah, even worse, right?
Or getting the whole show canceled.
that it's also that really I couldn't really even imagine.
I keep watching this season and thinking, you guys, I'm like, oh man, I know it's pretty rough to kind of see, especially like the HOH reveal. They didn't even seem to even talk about that this week, about it kind of even being similar to the last house.
Yeah, it's hard to watch it for that reason. Just it's the exact same like set, the same theme pretty much, and it's just like Jumanji kind of just grew and took over. That's basically the only difference, and it's weird not seeing us on it because it's the same set. That's just for me.
Yeah,
it's hard to watch it sometimes, but
it was hard for me to watch. Even the furniture, even the HOH room. I'm like
on the table.
Yeah, the plates are the same.
Come on.
Wait, they didn't even change the plates?
No,
the black furniture where they sit for evictions is the same. The plates, the backyard, the courtyard is still the same. Same tiles, same cushions, same everything.
The candles.
even the stage where Arissa was on is the same too. Crazy. And she wore the same dress.
No.
That's people probably would have like believed you too, but no, we all know that's not true. Miss Arissa never wears the same thing twice.
I'm joking.
She's too much of a queen for that.
She's fly.
Let's talk about the person that because I kind of want to get juicy with it, right? Ooh. Who was everybody's favorite here at going in, and who is their favorite now? Has that changed?
No.
I'm still a big Latoya fan. I'm still a fan of most of the guys, all the guys actually. You know what I mean? So and then here's my thing, guys. I hate picking favorites because I feel like you don't really know people until after the show. You know what I mean? You might like them on TV, and then when you meet them, like, oh, this person's a waste. You know what I mean? So I don't really form any connection to them until I actually meet them. If I don't meet them, that's cool too. But I don't really kind of meet them till I meet them because that production edit can be vicious, yo.
For real.
That's true.
Do you think that they're doing anybody dirty like that?
No, I think they might be showing a little too much to the funny, goofy Beth. I'm not sure how funny and goofy is. Shout out to Josiane in the chat. Josiane saying that production seems to be pushing Beth a bit more, but on live feeds, she ain't really saying much. So, hey, people push what they want, you know?
I think they're pushing Beth a little bit more because she might be potentially into a showman's coming up, and they got to put her at the forefront so that we can like her now. It's just like The Bachelor, you know? You just put them in the forefront to be like, let's get the audience to love her, so that when it does happen and we're going to show it, people aren't going to be like, where did she come from? Like, I thought he was flirting with so-and-so and all that stuff. So I think that's why they were really pushing for Beth. But then again, like Austin said that Beth was one of her ride to die, right? Like ride to die.
That was very surprising. So in this episode, nobody knew, but in this episode, she confirmed that Austin's her ride or die, and that it is their final two. So now we know that it's the final two.
Yeah.
So
for sure. Is
this like, because I was getting these weird vibes. I'm here thinking like, who is Beth gonna be with in terms of like the live feeds? She kissed Jedson last night, but she was
Ty.
Yeah, but she was cuddling with Ty at night. So she kind of look. Beth became my Shiro in like 2.5 seconds, because a girl who could do that in the same house, to be like making out with the dude and then at night cuddling with the other one, I give her mad respect.
She also expressed that she didn't want to be on the showman's and that she just wanted physical touch, and the other person also reciprocated saying, I don't want a showman's either. I also just want to touch. So, girl, do your thing.
I'm just thinking, is that gonna like affect, like, does Austin have a thing for Judson? Is that gonna just, get girls a little catty?
I think these women are stronger than we think, and I don't think the typical cattiness that we experience as high schoolers and within our young 20s to be like, oh, if so and so likes the same guy I liked, like you're gonna get upset about it. A lot of them are very mature and they're also older, and I don't think that is gonna come out. And like some of the women, they've already came out as either bi or lesbian, or they're just not interested, or they're already in the committed relationship. But I don't think that is going to cause a ripple within that. And especially with the team dynamic, it's like, if I don't like so-and-so, like I can't do anything if our team is safe, or if our team's in danger, then yes, maybe they'll try something. But I don't think cattiness is going to be coming out over a guy.
I think they might feel some type of way, but I don't think they'll show it on the show just for their own game's sake. But I think they'll feel it for sure.
Yeah. Is being in a flirtmance or a showmance something? Does it have its benefits, Jamar?
It can, because it can get quite lonely in there, and you might need some cuddles here and there. You feel me? So yeah, that's the benefits of it. You know what I'm saying? And then
And what are the negatives of it?
The negatives.
Are there any negatives?
Yes, there are, because people think you guys are attached and think you guys like make a decision as one. You know what I'm saying? Good thing I wasn't like that on mine, but you know what I'm saying? Most romances, people think they make decisions together. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably the negative of it. You know what I'm saying?
We're also not talking about how men interact, Jamar. If Jamar has a young lady that I think that I could get as well, it could be an issue. Maddie, do you want to speak about this? Because I think you might have something to say about two men jockeying for your attention.
I had more of like an undercover showmance. No one knew I was in a showmance until I kissed him leaving the doors that night.
Oh,
so no one knew. Like Jamar said, it was more of like just a cuddle thing, and it was like a company and to keep me, like us both, like sane. And but we didn't want to show it to the rest of the house. And then everyone was actually shocked, like when we kissed. But everyone was like, "What? Them?"
So wait. So my question would be though, does that compromise like your decision making? Is it something like I got to make sure that that person is safe?
I think so, just because we were also in the same alliance. So yes, in my case.
In your case, Jamar, I don't even know what. Sometimes you two looked like you hated each other. So what was the deal there?
She rubbed the house the wrong way from the first day.
Definitely.
So I was like, the longer she stays, the longer she's a bigger target ahead of me. So yeah, I did try to keep her safe. Kind of, not too hard, but like, you know what I'm saying? You like to keep bigger targets ahead of you. So that's what I looked at as her. Like I said, it didn't affect me negatively because nobody attached us like as one. You know what I'm saying? Everyone from their mind thought we hated each other. Everyone was surprised when they came out and seen us kissing in rooms and all that. Yeah.
Well, she told me. No one was surprised. Maybe the kissing in the rooms, but she told all of us that you guys almost had sex. So. Yeah, but like at the same time, it's like no one attached us together. Like when it came to like targets, people were like, we gotta get men.
Maybe you didn't think it.
It wasn't like let's get Jamar and Min or they're a duo. It was like let's get Min out and that's it. It wasn't let's get Jamar. Everybody was like I like Jamar, and we don't like Min.
So in the house, we pretty much. I didn't particularly like Min because since the very beginning, since I walked in, she would make fun of me, the way I looked, the way I spoke. She would take jabs at me for no reason, not game related. So I did have like, somewhat of an issue with her, and that I didn't associate her with Jamar though that way. I wasn't like, oh, we gotta get Jamar out. It was more so like, I don't like this girl because she's just rude for no reason. I think she's a little jealous of me. I don't know. That's the only thing I can come down to. But anyway.
This is interesting.
Shout out to Beth, at least stirring it up though. Shout out to Beth. Because at least,
it will be an interesting way to look. Because right now she's the one who has like pretty much is cuddling with everybody. I mean, she's even cuddling with Josh. At this point, like I was really trying to figure out if Beth was on anybody's radar. As of right now, and I'm gonna start talking a little bit more spoilers because obviously these last 3 episodes didn't really give enough for context. We haven't seen any alliances forming in these past 3 episodes, which is just like bizarre to me because there are so many moving You know, there are so many moving parts to this. You have kind of like these weird showmances where you kind of think that Latoya actually has like some feelings maybe for Jed. It might, yeah. Is anybody feeling that?
Well, I don't
I
want
think
life
Beth
feed,
said
so
something about
The
that.
what?
I think
Yeah?
Beth said something about that near the end of the episode.
Yeah, but I kind of got those feels too. Like she was in the hot tub for a very, very long time yesterday, without cameras. So like I don't know exactly what, you know, what they were talking about. We couldn't see the kiss that Beth and Jetson had because the cameras were on in the hot tub either. So there was just like, it's really weird what they're choosing to show and what they're not choosing to show, if that makes sense.
I think the lack of alliances being built, because like usually by this time, who is it on Twitter that does that big flow chart of like,
oh, I do actually
so-and-so,
have that. You can,
they're now
yeah.
partnering with this person, like, and I think for this season it's a little different because of the safety net of the team. And I think with the safety net of the teams, you are automatically in an alliance with 5, 6 people that you can kind of talk game and talk badly about but 6 other people without getting consequences, because it's like, well, as a team, we have to decide who we're going to evict, who we're going to do. So I think with that safety net, it gives people more opportunity to talk game more freely compared to other seasons where you don't have that team. You have to find 1 or 2 person as your confidant to become your go-to alliance person to say like, hey, who do you think we should get out? Who do you think we should vote for? Now it's like a team decision. Like, do you want to get out this person? You want to get that person? But like, I think by the end of the day, the safety net is the team defender. So I don't know how long they're doing the team thing, because they're going to lose numbers on the other side. But maybe by like the 3rd week or 4th week, they're going to be like, we're no longer doing teams. And I think more alliances are either going to solidify or break up more. But like, that's not even as many alliances as I've seen in the past within the 2nd week.
Yeah, these are actually kind of there's not that many, to be quite honest, for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I feel like there would be at least 3 or 4 more. Like we have like pretty much we have Destiny and Defenders. But with the Destiny and Defenders, I think it was really interesting what Beth said at the very end of this episode. And she had said that you work with the other team. That makes the most sense. Is that how you all would have done it?
Well, there was that share and steal a portion of the episode that I think also kind of showed where people were in terms of power and negotiation skills. So they sent Jetson and they sent Latoya to go talk to the other team. So I guess to even be like that comfortable to send that person in there to go and speak shows that they trust that person, not only with information, but they see that person as trustworthy to, I guess, a general consensus of the house. So
yeah, I had a feeling that I had a feeling that like they were gonna pick Toya, and that everybody's like, yeah, we're gonna steal it. And as soon as she came in, they got so scared, shaking in their boots, and we're just like, no, we ain't gonna do that to her because she's gonna raise hell. But I feel like she's gonna work that until like final 3. Like she's I don't see her going anytime soon at all.
Shout out to my friend Janelle Igwe, who let me know that she knows Toya and was like, "Oh, she's actually super sweet and super like cutesy and also very like what's the word, appealing. Like, so she's very good at kind of like talking to people and kind of, because she's very petite and also very pretty. So she uses that to her advantage to kind of disarm people.
She also has her own swimmer line. So I have a few of my pageant girls who actually knows her, where she made a swimmer line called Nude Swim, which is great because the definition of nude should be to the person's skin color, but we're so used to seeing nude as beige. So it was interesting that she made a different swim line to emphasis on the different skin tones that are defined as nude. And that's why I like Latoya a bit more, was she was already this, she's not just like, oh, a correctional officer that is now a cop. Like, she's done so much beyond that. And I feel like that's why. But I also feel like, did they really pick Latoya and Jetson? Because I've seen it in the past where people would volunteer.
They picked
volunteer,
Ty.
And then the edit would be, Ty.
Sorry.
sorry, I wasn't paying attention, but yeah, like I've seen it in the past where they've had competitions where they say, hey, you guys need to pick 2 house guests. And sometimes people tend to volunteer themselves because they know they can do it better or that they want to be at the forefront. And then the edit comes in later where they say, okay, you guys say that you picked this person, and then let's get you in the diary room and say why you picked that person. So a bit of me feels like maybe LaToya might have volunteered herself and then like, oh, I'll be in the forefront to do it since, you know, like I was the last person standing on that HOH competition or something. And if she did that, like, I like that she's taking charge and
absolutely
kind of proving her value to stay on the team. Being like, you need me for the next HOH competition because I can actually try to help us win, considering how you guys keep on flopping.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jamar, do you look at LaToya differently because she's the boy of them?
No, that's fine. She's Jamaican, so you know what I'm saying, and she's from Pickering. She's from my end, so you know I'm rooting for her too. She's a part of the man them and the gal them out there. You know what I'm saying, straight.
So she would look the other way if she seen you doing a little 120 on the 401.
No, she'll allow me. What do you mean? She'll allow me. She'll allow the man.
Oh wow. I don't know. I mean, she seems nice, but she also, like, there's a very serious side to her. I think that you can tell the people she did not get along with were the ones that were very loud and that she felt like could not keep their mouths shut. So obviously with the Julie aspect, and Julie did mention it in her eviction recap, that
Jess,
sorry,
I don't want to jump here, Jess, but I want to say this. Mm-hmm. Controversial question, guys. Julie, first transgender house guest, first boot. Do we chalk that up to her poor gameplay, or is it maybe she wasn't accepted due to her being different?
I think it was gameplay.
Poor gameplay.
Yeah.
I definitely think it was poor gameplay. I feel like a lot of people were very open to what was going on. And I get what you're trying to say, Drew, because I think there's a lot of people on Twitter right now, on BB Twitter, that are starting to make this like an LGBTQ situation where if Josh leaves, that people are specifically targeting that community. And I personally do not think that's the case. I think that with Josh in general, he has done stuff that has been very shady. He's done stuff to make himself unreliable. A lot of people, I think it was in today's episode where LaToya was saying how Julie could not keep anything to herself, that she was just like, so like they say, loose lips sink ships. To me, like in my season, in my season, there was someone who couldn't keep her mouth shut to save her life, and she was out third. Like, and that was it. Like, when you are proven untrustworthy with a specific information, and unfortunately, someone like Victoria, as much as I like her and she's bubbly, I feel like she's next. Because, I mean, did you see what she did to, well, for those who don't know and who weren't watching the feeds today, the big thing that she said, because right now we are looking at it as if Kiefer and Josh have just gotten put up, right? Mm-hmm. So those were the two. As of right now, Veto has already been played. Someone has already been taken out. And a new person has already been nominated. Now Victoria happened to have Josh next to her, and like while Josh was next to her, said that the other person that was nominated was a pawn, like literally in front of Josh. So like everybody kind of like looked at her, and she's like, "What? Isn't that what you guys said?" But like right there, that's messy shit. That's like automatically painting a target on yourself and like, we can't trust that chick for nothing. You can't say anything to her, because even if it's like, even if it wasn't malicious and she's not doing it on purpose, she talks too much. As much as you like her, she just talks too much. What do you think?
speaking from experience, like seeing how Julie was during that first week was exactly how I was in season 5 during the first week, where I thought I was trying to help my alliance by sharing information and trying to get people to come together. And that caused a ripple. And I was lucky that I was co-HOH in a way that I was safe, so that I was able to adapt and change to the second week and just shut up. And I thought Julie would have learned that if they watch my season, is don't run your mouth, because that's what's going to get you. And that's what ended up happening. Was I think Julie thought she was like popular enough to be able to express her voice. She thought that she trusted everybody that she was with to be able to share the information that she did, and that what fit her. And the explosion that she had about an hour or so prior to eviction was what sealed her, because it was supposed to be Josh that was supposed to be leaving that night. And literally a couple hours beforehand, that blow up happened. It was a very big blow up. And that's what caused the change where people are like, okay, like, we obviously can't keep her because she's not, like, where did this come from? She's exploding out of nowhere. So they just got rid of her there. And I think Josh is just going to stay as a pawn for a while. I hope he's not leaving. I do like Josh, and I hope he does stay a bit longer and get a bit of an underdog edit and, you know, excel and pawn his way to the end as far as he can. But I don't think Julie was evicted because she's the first trans woman to be competing. I think it was her game skill, and it sucks because as super fans, I see this a lot where super fans go in and they overthink what they're doing. They are extra paranoid, and they're like, oh, I see people are talking, look at the cameras going, all this stuff. And that's where she was at, was she saw all this information and she was so excited to play as a super fan, and then she just exploded everywhere instead of like, and we see that a lot where a lot of the first evictees tends to be like super fans or people who really, really love the show, and it sucks because I know she tried it for 6 times.
I think the first couple boots are also people that are targeted simply for being different or having a little too much sauce. Obviously, yeah. Julie, very polished, amassed a huge following on social media with her, and I'm sure she told everyone about that. I'm sure, because, you know, but it's one of those things where, like, if you're a little too saucy, some people don't like that, and that might also put a target on your back. Jamar, you're a man with lots of sauce. How did you sustain the sauce and not get lost?
You just gotta make these people laugh, brother. You feel me? When you're the only one in, you know, when you're the only one in your kind in there, it's like you just gotta make them laugh at that point. And that's how they fell in love with me. They didn't want to get me, you know what I'm saying?
Is that true, Maddie? Is that true? He was just too funny to get rid of?
Hilarious. He was so hilarious.
I like the way you said it too. It almost sounded sarcastic.
It was sarcastic, but we did like we did like Jamar, like having Jamar around in the house. I think with the whole Sheldon thing, Sheldon didn't like the fact that, well, Sheldon said he was like moping around and kind of discouraged, and it was hurting Sheldon's game. That's what he was right. Am I right or wrong, Jamar?
Yeah, him and Kyle try to put this image on me where, you know, that's the game. So people always try to make you a target, and, you know, so that's what it is.
I personally liked having you around in the house, though. You're a good time. You're funny.
Uncomfortable. You make that uncomfortable.
I never said that. That was
I'm saying those two. Yeah,
don't.
Wait, so wait, I had to ask this, Maddie and Jamar. You two are now obviously a lot closer out of the house than you were in the house, correct?
Yeah.
Were you all that good? I mean, I didn't like, because they always cut feeds. So I hate people that say we see everything, we see the feeds, because that's bullshit. Y'all don't, like, people don't see everything. But was there something that we were missing, or were you guys close in the house? How close were you all in the house? I
don't think we were, like, the thing
about Kemi and I weren't close in the house. Like, Kemi is like now my best friend, but outside of the house, like, we weren't in the house.
We're obviously closer now than when we were in the house. 5 minutes from me.
Yeah, oh, okay.
It was like 5 minutes down the road, but the thing about inside the house, the evictors, we wanted him part of our alliance because we wanted to have like one more person, and we wanted Jamar to be a part of that. But I tell Jamar, you know, he was too close to Sheldon, and that was a little worrisome because we know he would report information back to Sheldon that we would say. So we wanted him, but then at the end of the day, we're like, I think he's too much with Sheldon, and it was just too messy for us to take him in.
I just want to say about people, the optics of minorities being together in the house. We're seeing a little bit of that pop up this year as well. You know, with Josh kind of outing this undercover brother and a Toya alliance. I'm not sure there's a name for it, but we'll call them the black people. Is it easy?
They didn't. He didn't say that. He didn't. Say,
yeah,
he said that?
there was a conversation I saw that was, I guess, on Twitter in terms of like people. Rohan, actually, it was Rohan, I think, outing that the black people are together. Is that can we say that? Is that allowed? Like if they're together, they're together, right? But
he said that. He really said that.
Yeah. Let me see.
Josh,
Let me see my line.
Yo, he must
I
not
think
know.
I think I saw the clips where who was Rowan talking to? Was it
Kiefer?
No, he was talking to either. I think it was Ty to say, hey, you know, just so you know, I think people are saying that you guys are together. Oh, was it together? I can't remember. And they're like, oh, it's because they're black. Because I remember one of the guys defending himself and said, why? Because we're all black. You think we're just going to work together? Because we're not. Yeah. There was a clip or it was not a clip. I didn't see the clip. I saw like a comment that someone said that the person rebutted back and said, oh no, we're not working together just because we're all black. That's not the case. Listen. But I don't know if they really deflected that or not. But like, you know, if I was in that season, I would have really hoped the minorities would work together. I would be hoping for that too, as well, because that's not a common thing that I would ever see in any of my environment is seeing the minorities work together or seeing that many minorities to be able to work together. So like if I was in that season, I would be working with people of color because I would feel more comfortable.
Hey, past seasons, we definitely had to work together. You know what I'm saying? This season is the most diverse cast ever. Past seasons, we definitely had to work together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why I came in the house and was like, yo, 1, 2 right there. But this season is like very diverse, very, you know what I'm saying? I like it. So this season is like, you know what I'm saying? Rohan shouldn't really be saying that, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the times we're in, you know what I'm saying? But he's a person of color also, but even so, it's like, come on, man. Can't be saying that.
Yeah,
but like, even if it's true, it's like he must not know of the times we're in. But at the same time, it's like past seasons, like, come on, man. Of course we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We always stick to the black code in past seasons, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. There's only 2 of us. This is like my season was the most, 3 of us in there. Past seasons it was like 1 of us, 2 of us. I was expecting to be the only one. Then I seen 2, I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? But like this season, I like it. There's 5 blacks. You know, there's 5 LGBTQ, you know, in that community. You know, the season is lit, it's diverse.
But here's the beauty, and I agree with Miss History. And Miss History, thank you for the super chat. It's fear of Black unity gets them shook every time. I very much agree. I very much agree with that. And but I think the beauty of it all is that you have enough people, enough mix of people for it not to have to be that. Exactly. So now you have a good amount of people, right? You only have 1 straight white woman, 1 straight, you know, a white man, and, you know, a gay white man and a lesbian white woman. And things start to change because there's not enough of them to make one, you know, there's not enough of every one person to make an all black alliance or an all white alliance or whatever it is. Like, and to be quite honest, not every black person likes each other, not every Hispanic likes each other, and not every Asian likes and not every white person likes each other. Like that just because you are, you know, for me, if I'm Puerto Rican, just because you're Puerto Rican, well, yeah, it's like you being from Chicago. it's like I initially have something in common with you and that's a bond. But after a while, if I just don't vibe with you and I don't like you, I don't like you, and we don't vibe. It's not because you're black, white, Hispanic, or whatever. It's because we don't vibe. Like, and I think we see this in something like LaToya and Victoria, where people are expecting them to work together because they're two black women, and they're literally opposite ends of each other, because LaToya, they're both strong and they're both very smart and very beautiful women, but one happens to play a more low-key game and the other one is just a little bit, you know, more animated and more just like all over the place, and those two vibes don't mesh, you know, and so that's fine, and that's the beauty, and that's why we want, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that's why we want diversity, because we don't want it to be like, oh, they got rid of them because they're black. Oh, they got rid of them because they're gay. Oh, they got rid of them. Like, that's the whole reason we want diversity.
Mm-hmm.
If they were the only two black people in the house, do you guys think they would work together, though? If they were the only two, let's say LaToya and Victoria were the only two black people in the house, no black men, just them two, you guys think they would work together? Because I
think they'd have no choice but that they have to. Like, the game is simple, guys.
That's why
like,
it's good that it's diverse now. That's why it's good that it's diverse now. Because it's like,
you don't have to.
Saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then, like you say, like Big Brother 22, Bailey and Devon, they tried to actively stay away from each other, and they were still pinned as being each other's.
They weren't even friends before.
They weren't. But then you had someone like David, who was, you know, really trying to, you know, get into that mix and just couldn't do it. And, you know, because it doesn't make sense. Like, it can't just be about that. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that makes a lot more sense. But now that we're talking about, people are wow, people had talked about Josh, and I think a lot of people in the chat were talking about Josh today in the Twitter land. A lot of people were saying that he's being bullied, that he's that they're being really mean to him. I'm not gonna lie, I've looked at the feeds and it's a little hard to watch, but at the same time, isn't that what happens when someone is on the block? I mean, I've seen people. Yeah. So
if it's not jury phase, usually pre-jury is whoever's on the block. They tend to be isolated. Yeah. They tend to be out of conversations of game because you have no impact in the game whatsoever.
Were you all doing that to Nico?
No, I wasn't. I was trying to keep the brothers strong. I was like, bro, come on now.
For me, I would constantly try to talk to Nico because I'm like, why isn't this guy campaigning to me? So I went up to him twice. He never, said a word to me. So I'm like,
he threw in the towel. He wasn't.
He just threw in the towel.
Even when people came to him, he was just done. So that guy, there's nothing you can do about that guy.
Yeah, I know.
I like him.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy.
He's one of the mandem. You feel me?
Cindy, I know with your previous with 5, you guys put 2 big bucks on the block. Was there a lot of isolation there between Demetrius and was it Matt? Is that his name? Was that his name? I forgot his name.
I don't even know.
I will get back to you.
Oh, Mark.
Mark? Yes, Mark or Matt?
Mark.
Cindy's trying to pretend like she wasn't trying to show Matt good, though. Come on.
Forgot his first name.
Okay. What was very interesting with that dynamic was the reason why I pushed for Karen to have the 2 male guys on there was because at the time I was protecting the vets. That was my goal, was because her initial wants was Bruno and Netta, and I didn't want that at the time. I was like, no, like, you're such a fan of the show, you guys saw that conversation. So I wanted to get the vets to be safe and have these 2 guys. These 2 guys had their own separate alliance already. Dimitri came into with the vet side, and Mark was with more on the newbie side. And it was literally back and forth. And it was on eviction day, Mark was going to leave. And then about 2 hours prior to eviction, he tried to flip the vote and you saw the drama that unfolded with there. And then it didn't work out at the very end. And then I kept my vote to keep with Dimitri's instead of going with half of my alliance to keep Mark instead, because I didn't trust Mark at all. I think that was a different circumstance where people actively try to campaign and try to keep each other. But from like season 3 and stuff, like I felt the isolation when I was on the block twice. Other people felt the isolation too when they were getting on, especially when I don't know, once POV is done, by that time you kind of know if you're going and who's not going. And then there's the fear of if I were to get caught talking to someone that is going to go home, as much as I'm trying to be a nice person and I don't want them to feel alone, that conversation is always just quick and brief. Hey, how are you doing? Like in a private room somewhere, so that as house guests saw me, like I don't want them to be like associating me that I'm that close that now I'm going to be the target the next week. It's unfortunate with Josh, is because he is a very like quirky person, and some people, Josh was messy right along, but Julie, don't forget. Yes, he was, but I also think that like he was already the easy target to kind of get rid of anyways. And I don't think people are trying to mean to isolate him, but because he's not going to be a benefit to their conversation, they're kind of just like isolating, because it seems like they're talking game more a bit now, and it's no point of spilling tea to Josh for him to then run his mouth around the entire house. Like it sucks, but it is a common thing that happens in the BB world, is if you're on the block, you're kind of chopped liver, unless it's jury and people actively to really try to make you feel better so they can have your vote just in case you make it to the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super isolating. You know, the week that I was up, no one talked to me. No one wanted to be around me. I already kind of felt it, and it happened super quick because I literally saved some of these people the week before. So you also feel like it was like, damn, like these people are really not fucking with me on so many different levels. So it was probably one of the worst weeks. And I'm popular in real life, and people love me. But in that house, when you're ready to go, they're not messing with you. And it's probably one of the most lonely feelings. I even have like a meme. Some dude sent me a meme of me just sitting in between literally two groups of people by myself on a step. But it's one of those moments where I realize like, hey, this game is not for everyone. And if you're not mentally tough, those moments there will make you will make you run away from it. Because
I gotta say that the whole Josh thing, and not to cut you off, Drew, but the whole Josh thing, it's like, it's to see it happen, it feels really bad. But the fact that he is like he calls himself a lone wolf, and that he is an introvert by nature, makes me feel a little bit better, you know, because like it's almost like he almost doesn't care. Like I see him walking in and trying to do this, and people like just leaving and walking up and leaving and just being mad disrespectful. And he still tries, and he still talks to himself and like talks about what his plan is. And it just makes me so sad, because it's like he has a game plan. Like he has these things that he wants to play the game, and nobody like wants to play with him. And I feel like
at this point, like Josh didn't make enough secured relationships during his first week for it to carry on to the second week. And you know that in the BB world, the moment you don't talk to someone for one day, you're paranoid, you've lost that relationship with them, and that's it. And then as soon as you don't talk to someone, the moment you talk to them again, it's why are you talking to me now? This is obviously gameplay, this is strategic. You were never talking to me last week. So I think that's also a factor too, is like, you know, Josh is trying to jump into certain conversations, but it just feels weird now. It doesn't feel as genuine, like he's actually trying to make a conversation, or is he just going to be there to just like do whatever? I don't know. It's definitely tough in this situation, but I think that's just, I just hope Josh doesn't hug anybody on his way out. Like, don't just like, I'm glad that I didn't hug anybody on my way out, because like you guys like ignored me and all this stuff. Why am I going to fake hug everybody and say, oh, thanks, like have a great day? No, I hope you all not die, but I hope you all hurt yourself. And like, you know, people put light plagues and all that stuff.
I say that BBCAN 8. No?
Yeah, I wasn't hugging anybody.
You didn't hug nobody.
Yeah, that's why I ran on my street.
No, I got it.
I get it.
I already had a plan. Like if I got backdoored, if I got snaked, I wasn't hugging anybody. I don't care. I'm bitter.
It's so fake. It's just at this point, like maybe I would hug maybe like one or two person that I want to, but even then I wouldn't. Like I think in my eviction, I told the people that I said I want to hug you when I leave, but I know that would just obviously make it known that we work together or this or that or whatever. So I'm gonna hug you now, But at my eviction, I'm just gonna walk off. Like I don't want to talk to any. Like I know I'm leaving, so screw you all anyway. So bye.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Andrew ran out. No, Andrew. I just remember Andrew ran out.
You just ran out.
Yeah, he just grabbed his bag and like walked out, and it's just
come on, bro. I'm a real dude. Everyone knows I'm a real guy, and I think that's the epitome of like, you know what, we're done with it. We're done with this, yo. You know, I'll see the man out there, but other than that, you. And the thing is, though, before eviction, you have multiple times to say goodbye to anyone. You see me packing my stuff. I'm in the kitchen. I've been packing. Like, you know,
making your last meal. No one even says anything. I think people talk to me on my eviction day because it was my birthday. If it was not my birthday, I promise you, people would not have, like, I had breakfast made for me. I had people make signs for me. I had people hug me and wish me a happy birthday. I still campaigned my butt off that very last day and did the best that I could. And I only campaigned also because people were talking to me because it was my birthday. But if it was not my birthday, like my first 2 evictions, if it wasn't my birthday in those seasons, which it wasn't, people didn't talk to me on my day, the day I was leaving. They're watching me pack. They're having their own conversation while I'm packing. I'm like making my last meal. I'm trying to say goodbye, but then it's just like, you know what, screw you all. I'm going to hug you guys now. I'm going to say my words. I'm going to spill all the tea that I have possibly to help you guys and do what I can. But then once you leave, I'm just like, I hate you all so much.
What is it? What is it with people and their birthdays and being on the block? Like Kemi was on the block during her birthday. You were on the block during her birthday. Rohan right now, who is the spoiler alert. He already had his birthday.
We got evicted on our birthday.
This
is a day I will never forget. On my birthday, guys, by the way, my birthday is 4/20, so you guys can remember that. Every year on 4/20, I remember that is a day that I got evicted. My house guest could not even like try to save me for the sake of my birthday. So that's what sucked. But it was also like, honestly, like I feel bad for Josh, but that is part of the game. I agree with Andrew. If you don't, this is a very psychological, emotionally and mentally area that you're in. And it is, if you're not strong enough to go in there, leaving the house, take all the help that you can from other alumni, professional help if you need to, because it does hit you twice as hard, because it like, you know, my first season going in, I was very unclear of who I am as a person. So I took everything to heart, and it hurt a lot leaving the house thinking that everyone hated me. And it's like, oh, it's like, you know, like back in elementary and high school being bullied, and like, this is what it's like. This is the real world. This sucks. And then on top of that, seeing what everyone was saying on Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, it's hard to like go through those feelings and get better. So like, if you guys are feeling bad for Josh now, then rethink if you want to audition for a show like this, because it will happen to you. And like, you think you're going to be the best player. But every single one of us can prove to you.
Did you, Jam? Did you?
I super underestimated the mental battles in that house. I thought I was going to come in and just do my thing. But like, when I heard people were talking, shit about me, I was just like, I was going insane in there.
Who was talking shit? Who was, you know what I mean?
No, it's just more like
it's hard. Like I hear you saying, it's super hard to not be the same person you are outside the house when you get in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you're not tough enough to be like, yo, let me not deal with this the way I would deal with this outside, it's even triple time, because you know how mad I wanted to cuss out Erica, bro, and tell her this and that and say whatever.
You should have.
I should have, right? You're absolutely right, bro. I really should have. But then it's like, you see how it can escalate, right? Because if she would have said something super crazy, then what am I supposed to do now? I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? So it's like, you literally have to play the game from the perspective of the viewer, because if you play the game from the perspective of you, there's 2 things that can happen to you. Actually, only one thing. It's going to be disaster. And we've seen that.
Yeah, unfortunately,
this
is psychological warfare.
The cameras are always on, and that's why, like, when I saw Nico at the pool party, guys, I had to go talk to him, and that's why I had to tweet support for that stuff, because I know firsthand people that talk shit about the game will probably never have the opportunity to play the game.
Nope.
And if you never have the opportunity to play the game, you don't know what it's like to truly be in that circumstance. And now, having been in that circumstance, anyone who is even on the show has my full and utmost respect, and I salute every one of those house guests. And I might talk shit for a second, but the truth of it, guys, I salute you guys for even stepping in and putting yourself out there like that.
Yeah,
I think when house guests are talking smack or saying what they want to say, I think that 90% of the house guests that are saying it is basing it on the character that is on the show. And it's like, I hope we can only wish that as these house guests, you know, leave and come out and they're like, oh, you know, this alumni, I very favored this alumni. Oh, it sucks that that person says stuff about me. It's like, I've done it before where I have said things about like, what was it? Like Caitlin in BBUS, like I was so angry that she couldn't do the damn puzzle. And I was like freaking out over on Twitter about it. But I wasn't mad at her. I was just mad at like just being like, why that can be done. But when I met her, I even told her, I'm like, just, you know, if you backtrack and saw any of my tweets, like it's not attacking you as a character. I was just shocked that you couldn't do a 10-piece freaking puzzle. But like people, I would like to think that there are certain
people don't know the puzzle broke. The puzzle was broke. So like people don't know the stuff about that. So when you see the show, like, oh, Caitlin, you're a dummy. No, the puzzle was broken. She fucked it up. So she was, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing is there are some house guests that I would appreciate if they even took that courtesy just to reach out to the new house guests to say like, hey, you're going to see a lot of stuff, especially from my mouth. But like, just, you know, it wasn't about you. Like, I can't wait to meet you as a person. But there are definitely some house guests that are attacking the people like on a personal level as well. And that's what really sucks is because they don't know how to break that apart too. Because like Maddie, like you were saying about Maddie and Jamar, like they weren't that tight in the house, but you guys are much tighter outside of the house. Same thing with almost all of us. There are people that I was really tight with in the house that I hate right now. And there are people that I hated in the house that I love right now. So it's just interesting how people personality change when they're in that game. That's this psychological warfare. I also advise, I didn't do it, but I wish I went to therapy after the show because I think it should have been spoken to someone else because the hardest thing was you can't talk to other house guests because sometimes you don't, like they understand, but they don't understand because the game is still in your head. So you feel like they want something out of you and that's why they try to reach out to you.
Yeah.
And then you can't talk to your everyday people in your life because the everyday people just say, it's just a game. Like, get over it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And they don't feel the life that we had inside that bubble and how much it like did to us. So
it's almost like it never happened. It was like I had compared it when I got out. Someone had asked me, and I was like, I feel like I was in the Wizard of Oz. And, you know, I got stuck in a hurricane. I went into this new world with new people and I had good friends and then there were villains and there were things I needed to get through. And then once I got evicted, it's like I went back to fucking Kansas and everybody was like, what was that dream you had? And I was like, no, bitch, it was real. That shit was real.
Yeah,
like I lived it. I swear to God, I lived it. Like, and they were like, "Well, it's just a game. It's not that serious." And it was like, but it was.
I was like, I would always tell people, I was like, the day that I knew I was going home, like when I lost the competition, I think I cried more knowing that I was going home than I did any other breakup in my life. Like I felt like I was breaking up with like Big Brother and I are breaking up and my heart just broke and I was just like, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity and I feel for you, Maddie and Jamar, like you guys didn't get to play out your season and that sucks so much. And like, I genuinely hope that you guys get an opportunity one way or another in some shape or form, but like being that like removed out of the situation and how hard you work to get there. And then you're just like, I literally cried more than any other breakup in my life. I was just like devastated. And then everyone just didn't understand. They're just like,
I didn't even get to that point. Shit, I was only in that bitch for 17 days.
Yeah, and I think that's like, and I think we talked about this last time when we did the character analysis, is that's kind of the beauty of it, that what you all had too, because there's pros and cons to everything, right? Like when you've only been there for a certain amount of days, like
I think it's worse.
For Canada, the longer you're there, the worse it gets. And like Canada, you have 70 days, but like I was in my house for 78 days and I didn't even fucking win, you know? And And as you get there longer and longer and longer, it just starts messing with your mind more and more and more, because it gets harder. It gets harder to figure out who's lying and who you eventually have to kill. Like, I know that sounds very dramatic. I'm Puerto Rican, I'm sorry. But you literally have to, that's my disclaimer. It's like, I'm Latina. I have to, I'm just a disclaimer. I'm dramatic. But yeah, bitch, you had to figure out who you had to kill. Like, you literally had to cut them off, and it JAMAR, feels very real.
Even though you were only there for 17 days, both myself and Ika were only there till week 2, and we still got asked to come back. So I'm just saying,
it felt like forever. No, trust. 17 days was like a lot for me. That was crazy.
It is enough. Yeah, because
with how I went out too. It's like,
you have to do it like 17 days times 24.
Yeah, I usually say like 1 week. 1 week of Big Brother world is 1 month of the outside world. Because that's why relationships are so tight. Like listen, Big Brother has more successful relationships than the Bachelor franchise, right? And it's because you date for someone literally. If you spend a whole entire week with them, you're eating, you're farting in front of them, you're doing all kinds of things, picking your nose, like you don't care anymore. Literally. You're like, right? How many engagements have we had this year already?
Speeds up the talking process.
I think that's what
the pre-dating.
Yeah, and this is why people, I feel like, don't understand when they're just watching and they're not as obviously as connected. Think about it in the sense that and we always talked about this in the house too. It's just like you have 24 hours a day with people, even if it's only 17 days, right? 24 hours a day, you're with that person and you get to, and there's no phones, there's no anything to distract you. All you have to do is talk to them, get to know them, who you think they are, what you think they do, like what they love. You get to know even like the tics, the weird things that they do with their eyes, or the nervousness that they do, their habits, their nervous habits. So these are things that you know more about them than you know about people that you've been friends with for years, because you're friends, you're with them like for a couple of hours, like every month, every few weeks or something, whatever, right? This is like hardcore time of like getting to know and spend time with each other. And then it gets very, very, very personal. And I think that that's a part of the game that these big that these BB fans, they don't ever really grasp, because they're watching it like a Netflix like binger. They're not like watching it like they have to wait every week for that episode, and they're living it for like the whole like 12 weeks. They're banging it out every for whatever, those 2 or 3 days or whatever, and they're watching it and they're just like, oh, I don't know why they were so upset about this. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't see it. Nope. It gets really crazy. So like I wish that I could see a little bit more of that and how people are feeling when you're watching the live feeds, because you don't really get to see that either unless they're very, very vocal people. Like I like how Josh right now is very vocal, and he talks about to himself about like what he's thinking and how he's feeling and all of these things. Like I like it when people do that. I didn't do a lot of that in the house. I wish that's something that I would have done. I loved it when Jamar was playing around with the cameras. Like if he was like doing something with Minley, or he was having a conversation, and then he would look at the cameras and he would tell us whether he was like lying, or if he thought it was funny, or if he thought it was like a bad idea or whatever it was. Like I like that
one and only, never again.
Yeah. But we'll we've been here forever, and so I love that you all are like just talking shit with me and being able to do all that. I love you guys for it. I want to just quickly, because we have this BB, people have been asking, we have this BB US versus BB Canada boxing match. And it literally came out of nowhere. It was just like, it was on Twitter. It was on the Twitter feeds, and people were like, is this real? This is a pay-per-view. What? Like, what the hell is going on? But we do have someone here who is actually going to have a match, and is probably, I'd assume, is training.
Yeah, I've been training for the past 3 weeks now, I want to say. Everything's shut down in Toronto, so it's kind of hard to find training facilities, and gyms are closed. So I'm just kind of working out in like the basement and going, you know, my friend's house and stuff. So I've been training. It's
so what date is this? What date is it?
There's no actual set date, but I think it's going to be sometime end of June, maybe early July. We don't really know, but that's approximate. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And
honestly,
each
like,
BB Canada person is matched up to a BB US person, right? It's not a Canada versus Canada. It's just Canada versus US.
Correct. Yeah. And I have like zero experience with boxing. I'm fighting Rockstar. She has zero experience too. We have to be like, you know, the same height, the same weight, and the same gender. So that's how they're basing it off of.
I'm surprised that it finally is happening, because I think Adele has been trying to plan this for almost like 4 or 5 years now. Where like, yeah, because almost every, like, I think I remember him asking me, and after I finished season 3, if I wanted to ever. He keeps on asking me to fight Gina Marie, and like obviously he's like. And it doesn't happen. Like, I've already called her out way too many times on, and it's like my only pinned tweet. And every year he would always ask like, "Hey, would you want to do this boxing thing? Like, I think you'd be great against Gina Marie." And I always say hard no every single year. So like the fact that it's finally coming intuition, like there was enough interest within the house guests to want to do it, especially with the lockdown. I think that gives people time to actually train and do it, because I think if we were still in our old normal routine, it'd be hard to have like a full-time job or school or having kids and train at the top of that, especially for people who've never trained and boxed before. So like, kudos to you, Maddie, for doing it. Cause I definitely said no. Cause I was like, I don't know how to box, and I don't want to learn it, and I don't want to like hurt myself. So like, I commend you for taking that step to like try something so new and like out of like comfort zone. So like, I wish you the best of luck with that. Like, I really like Rockstar too as well, but obviously I'm gonna be very patriotic and say I'm gonna go with like Canada's side here.
That's the whole my thing with me. I just like, out of everybody who is matched up with everybody, I was looking at Maddie and Rockstar. I was like, why? I do not condone these two girls going at it. Like, I do not like this. So I'm going to say I'm not even going to watch that match. I'm going to put on a blindfold. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Everybody else, like, go to town. I think I'm going to go on Jam's side, and I'm going to be next to that corner when Michael boxes. For those who don't know who Michael Box is, figure it out. I'm not going to say it, but I'm on Michael's side, and I've never even met him. But yeah.
Can I stir the pot here a little bit though?
Do it.
One thing, Cindy, don't talk shit on Twitter if you're not gonna fight. That's one thing, okay? So if Gina Marie's coming for you, she has all right to box you.
No!
Rockstar.
Drew likes to talk shit.
Gina Marie was from 2014, 15, and I will leave that up there for as long as I possibly can, because she needs to put her ignorant, racist ass back into the corner.
It wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that bad what you have up. It's like, it's literally just a
She does not deserve to be in the same ring as me, okay? I have met her in person. I have dealt with her fakeness. I have called her out every single time.
You should have swung on her when you seen her. It should have been on site.
It's funny.
I just want to let people know that this is live and people are watching.
Whatever. Tag Gina Marie. Also, I saw in the comments.
For 5 years.
Okay.
All right. I saw in the comments. Jamar, Adam is fighting Josh. Who do you think is winning that one? Do you think Adam is going to knock anyone out? You seen Adam?
I think Adam's going to take that one.
Adam's going to be like, I would even say yes to that fight. I mean, I don't know
Adam
why he's fighting Josh.
It's Adam versus Josh.
I don't know why he's fighting Josh. I mean,
all right, I would cheer on for Josh on that one.
I mean,
I don't know anything about. I don't know much about Adam other than he's a.
I knocked all these motherfuckers out, bro.
Wait, what?
Listen, like whether or not it's boxing, like Josh has also been training with the challenge and all that stuff too. Like this guy has been on top of this.
Oh, you think that even with
he's a crybaby.
I think
you think
I like Josh.
Take that one. And also, oh, sorry, go on.
I'm saying I just want to keep that thought, Maddie. I just want to get this straight. Even with the amount of training and the shit that Josh has done, like jumping off of shit and like and literally going head to head with dudes like on the challenge.
Has he won?
He did win an elimination. Yeah, he did. This last one, he won an elimination, and he's won competitions.
Throwing like this.
No, I think definitely Adam's gonna take this one.
Adam's winning.
You think so?
Yeah,
I just wanted. I don't know. I don't want to like it.
And I'm not being biased or anything.
Adam's winning easy. That's not even
Adam's winning easy.
That's free money. That's free money right there.
Adam is winning easy.
Wait, I want to know where's the money. No. Let's go with Maddie, and then I'm gonna ask.
Maddie, you scared of Rockstar? Rockstar got old women's strength, you know.
Oh no, Maddie has been very.
Rockstar's from Baltimore, you know. Baltimore's no joke.
No. Maddie is
Scarborough's no joke.
That's true too.
Maddie's gonna eat that easy, straight. Yes, it's live. I like Rockstar, but Maddie's gonna you up. You know what I'm saying? Straight.
You know what?
Maddie won't talk shit, but I'll talk shit for her. She's gonna.
You know what?
I don't condone this. I don't condone this. I don't condone this. I don't condone this. I don't condone this.
Maddie, you looking kind of. Maddie, you looking kind of thick in the pants. I seen in the comments. People say looking, you know, with the
pants.
A little thick in, you know, with the twist.
My slips.
Okay.
No, okay. I just wanted to say that I love it when people underestimate me. It's the best feeling in the world because I know I'm just gonna go in there and just kick ass, and I'm just gonna first round is gonna be a knockout. Sorry, Rockstar. Second of all, Cindy, they wanted me to fight Gina Marie first round, and I said yes to it. And I was gonna wear. Remember what I said, Jamar? My belt that I was gonna wear, my Black Lives Matter belt. I was gonna wear that in, and then she backed out.
I told Mike to wear that too for that next guy he's fighting.
I would have been like, what else do you need? Well, I will customize anything you need, Maddie. If I knew that was happening.
Jamar, Mike's ready though. Mike's ready or what?
Yeah, Mike's gonna kill it.
Okay. The thing about Michael is that if he just keeps getting pounded, he's not getting knocked out. He's just gonna keep going. That's just his mentality.
I don't know, but I don't think Nick has ever. I don't think Nick has ever like had a fight in his life.
He's not fighting Nick anymore.
What?
He's not fighting Nick anymore.
Oh no!
He backed out.
No. No. He didn't back out. They switched his opponent. Nick's still in it. He's just competing against someone else.
So who now? Who are the matchups?
Dallas. He's fighting Dallas now. Nick
and Dallas and Michael and
some cowboy guy.
Oh, Caleb.
What? Caleb?
Yeah.
Mike's still winning though.
I mean, we're talking about Michael has his youth if anything.
He also has the
they're not even trying to fight. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's for fun." Like,
Tell that to Hamza. Hamza said that he's been training 3 days every day, 3 days a week. I don't know what he said. He said that he broke it twice a day, 3 days a week. He said he broke his body. I don't know what he said.
That's bad. You need to rest your body first of all.
Yo, man, Hamza's my guy, but he might be in trouble though. He might be in trouble. He might be in trouble. That's my guy. Listen, you don't want me to start talking too crazy about this. Hamza's my guy, but Hamza, bro, text me, Hamza. We'll talk, bro.
The thing about Hamza is that Hamza has a lot of heart, and
that doesn't sound good, man. You don't say that.
No, with a lot of heart, and he trains every day, twice a day. Yeah, so twice a day, every day, and I'm gonna put my money on him.
So Jamar, why aren't you boxing?
Oh, I gave them a price and they couldn't match it, so that was it. That's about it. Also, I don't think any of the opponents that they gave me, I think they wanted to fight me, so. They wanted me fighting like some guy named Judd, some guy named McCray, like
Judd was part of Cindy's season with Sequester, right?
Really?
Wasn't Judd part of your season? He was at BBUS.
We did the in-person sequester thing. Yes, I'm sad that you're not fighting Dina Marie anymore. And
I was like, I like Rockstar, and that's why I'm like, I just wanted to fight against someone.
It would really give you extra oomph if you were fighting someone that you did not like.
Right.
I love I like the banter that you and Rockstar have, and it's all in good fun, but like I still don't like it. I don't condone it. I don't condone it. I don't condone it. I don't condone it.
I know.
Okay, I just wanted to say that.
Trust me, I didn't want to. I had like 5 opponents lined up, and all of them backed out, and then I ended up I was originally not going to be doing it because they couldn't find me an opponent like my height, around my weight.
Yeah.
And then they found me Rockstar. I'm like, fuck, I'll just do it. You know what I mean? And she said she wants to do it. So I'm like, I love you, Rockstar, but you're about to get knocked out.
I know. I mean, it's probably why I couldn't box anybody. I mean, at my height and weight class, I'd be fighting Drew.
Oh my gosh, no.
I take that on 100%. Did I say that creepily? I'm sorry, guys. It's International Women's Day.
It's okay.
I have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
I just realized the time, and like, so I don't. You guys can go ahead and continue talking.
We're all. I think we're all good. We can just like.
Cindy, before you go, do you want to talk about some of the injustices happening to the Asian community all over the United States and North America? I saw you were posting that. I wanted to talk to you about that before you got out of here.
Yeah, it's definitely something that needs to be more in the forefront for, especially during this pandemic. There's been a lot of hate crimes as well as deaths and murders within the Asian community. It's very tough because people don't accept it as a hate crime or racism because we're not dark-skinned, or because we're the model minority where, apparently Asians don't experience racism. That's not something that we go through. But with this pandemic, it didn't help that there was a president that called it the China virus. And the fact that everyone assumes that all Asians look the same, so all Asians are Chinese, that they deserve to kill, 78-year-old Korean women and fire up the elderly, and especially people who can't even fight back, and they're just, it's been insane. So in Canada, it's still going on a lot too, but we're definitely more under the covers about the stories, and it's not as more forefront about it. I do appreciate you for bringing it up, but I just hope people can speak up, and if they were to see someone, even if they make little jokes like that, calling it the China virus or making like ching chong noises, that is a form of microaggressions as well as racism, and it can really increase the hate crime that's coming in. People should report it, and especially the Asian community, they don't, because they're afraid to, and they want to keep their head down and just be like, you know what, it's fine, like what we're experiencing, it makes sense and all that stuff. So if you were to ever witness this, please do speak up. It's very hard during these times, and we definitely didn't have the voices, and it took me a very long time to be able to talk about it because of my own personal drama and racism and bullying that I've experienced my entire life. So it was like definitely hard for also me to accept that it was hate crime and racism, and like even to this point, sometimes now, like I don't really leave my home. I was in the US for a while. I was afraid to go to the grocery stores, and being the only Asian in the community there. So I definitely feel it and feel the looks that is going through. And I'm a very outspoken person, but I'm actually sometimes thinking twice before I speak out in public because I'm worried about my own safety as well. So I would encourage everybody, if you can, to please speak up and be there and be able to assist wherever you can.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I hate that we're even going through times where this needs to be said, but alas. Thank you so much, Cindy, for being a part of this. I love to hear. I love it when we talk game and strategy and then can talk about other things and our experiences. Like, I love having these type of discussions with different house guests and just to hear everybody's journey. And when not, can you tell us where people can find you? If they want to follow you, and do you have anything coming up or anything that we should be looking for? Are you going to be boxing anybody?
Hell no. Yeah, you can find me on City with us and almost anything there. I personally don't have anything upcoming, but I encourage everybody to look at all the other house guests. They all have their own podcasts as well as YouTube and streams. Support them, especially if you were talking shit about them in previous season. This is now time for you to give back to those house guests and be supportive for everything that they're doing. But that's pretty much it. Thank you for inviting me last minute. I appreciate it. I'm not too involved in the BB community, so sometimes it's nice to come back into there once in a while. So it was fun talking to you guys.
Yes, definitely. You're always welcome. Thanks. All right. So, yeah. And then there were 4. I know that it's we've already been here for a long time. I know I love talking to you guys, even if like we just end this and we'd be like, I don't know, playing drinking games or whatever. But where do we go from here? Now, Drew, is there anything that you want to say before we kind of call it a night?
Yeah, no, happy International Women's Day to all women celebrating today. We have some beautiful, wonderful, talented that inspired me. Of course, my mother, shout out to my wife as well, but shoot to all the women doing wonderful things, positive things in the community. And like what Cindy and asked, I'm against racism, all racism. As a large black man, I experience racism very differently than some people, and it's very not covert, it's overt. So it's like people say it is what it is. But Canada's very different in terms of racism being kind of hidden as well. So salute to Cindy and everyone kind of going through some weird stuff during COVID. But yeah, hopefully everyone's positive and productive, week. And yeah, let's get this money.
Yeah. Jam, thank you for showing up today. Is there anything you want to tell? You want to tell anybody? Anything coming up? Anything you want them to know?
I just want to say everyone needs to be considerate, and when it comes to watching this season, you don't need to talk about badly on season 8 people. I'm saying it's very triggering for us to watch the season, and I'm saying with the fact that COVID ended our season, so be considerate of our feelings. I'm saying it's very triggering for us. So when we tweet or say certain things, like don't try to come at us. Like it's very triggering for us, and a lot of us are kind of upset and sad, let down that that we're not on this season, or at least not received a courtesy call or something. So just be considerate of everyone's feelings, and just enjoy the season. You don't need to tear down anyone else. Just enjoy the season. It's very diverse, and you guys know where you can find me. I'm all over Instagram. I got Twitter fingers most of the time, and
you gave us sets. Maddie, can you send us in the private chat your Instagram while we're at it? For those who of you who do not. For those of you who don't follow Jamar, he's at King Jam on pretty much everything, Twitter and Instagram. And do you have a Facebook? Or is it just Twitter and Instagram?
I don't use
TikTok?
Facebook.
Do you have TikTok now?
I got YouTube. I got everything.
Yeah, get us subscribers. Subscribers on YouTube, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on YouTube right now. For anybody who is interested, what was your last YouTube? What do you do on your YouTube?
My last YouTube video was basically talking about my expulsion. So, which I think inspired this season's diversity. You feel me? That also, at the end of the day, I don't look to take credit from people, but what I'm saying, no exposure from me, we would be seeing the same typical cast, in my opinion. But what I'm saying, that's just my opinion and a couple others. But what I'm saying, yeah, I talked about my expulsion, and if you want to hear my thoughts and feelings, that's the last YouTube video. I'm very bad at being consistent on YouTube, but I'll try to do a thing every now and then. So yeah, man, I'm not down over here. So it's kind of hard. So yeah, that's me, man.
And Maddie, how about you? Obviously, we're going to be paying attention to your training schedules and your shit talking with Rockstar. You're back and forth. You guys have a lot of that.
All the haters that are rooting against me, keep it coming because I'm loving it. It's making me work harder, and Batty Maddie is about to come out.
Okay.
Batty Maddie. That's it. Are you gonna have, like, I need to ask, do you have like a seamstress? Is she making your own outfit? Or how is this? Is it gonna say Batty Maddie? Like, are you gonna be blinged out? Like, how is this gonna happen? I need to know these details.
I don't want to give too much away, but yes, there will be a robe, there will be everything. That's like, that's really important. Like the outfit for me coming out, like if you look good, you feel good, and I would say play good, but like you're gonna come out there, right? And so you gotta look good. I'm having a custom made outfit and everything.
See, the only reason I'd want a box. It would be is to get a custom outfit. That's why I need that custom outfit. And then with you, Drew.
Yeah, those mother boys on IG and Twitter, you know what I mean? Just, talking sneaker stuff. What else? Snacks, basketball from time to time, workout stuff, inspirational stuff for the kids. A bit of everything. So, check me out, man.
Yes. Yeah. So for those who are asking, we are posting this on both the Girl Let's Agree to Disagree page and also on my personal YouTube channel. We're still trying to figure out the logistics to all of this. This may be a weekly thing. This may be a bi-weekly thing. This may be I'm drunk, let me just get on. This might be I don't really like how the season's going. I don't really want to talk about this because it's pissing me off. So I really don't want to commit to this.
The Bachelor and tonight? Did you watch The Bachelor? The Bachelor was done? Is that tonight? Right?
No, exactly. Today was the last episode of The Bachelor. And so girls from Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, we are going to be covering it tomorrow. That is going to be our last Bachelor episode. That's on Tuesdays. Thursday, we do the challenge recaps. We haven't done it in the past couple weeks because of like Big Brother and everything. The girls are not covering Big Brother. I apologize. It's just not their cup of tea. Big Brother's more my thing, huh?
Disrespect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the gamer. I'm the one who loves the show. So like, because I know that people love it and I love you guys, I want to be able to talk, shoot the shit and just like talk about the season. So just make sure that you click like and subscribe to wherever you all are watching. If this is my personal channel or if this is a Girl Let's Agree to Disagree channel, make sure you click like and subscribe. Follow absolutely everybody who is on the show today. More than likely, if you hit the subscribe or the notification button, you will know when we are on. I mean, we figured this out, within like 10 hours, Drew, I think. We just kind of like, we called and we're like, we just messaged and we're just like, are we doing this today or what? And it was just like, okay. So literally this is like off the seat of our pants. This is just us shooting the shit and not having anything else to do, but loving the game. And because we get to drink, whatever. So I want to say thank you for everybody who's on here. We love you. If there's any comments, likes, anything that you want to let us know that you want us to comment on for the next show, let us know in the comments. Dan, Jams, you need a new bottle.
I got those beers for you still, bro. Pull up on me.
We so love and appreciate, right? We so love and appreciate you all. Cheers to you and good night.